What up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about the 3 general rules of turkey hunting. So I'll be discussing some tactics, but this is really more of a strategic view. So we're really just discussing general bird behavior and how this is going to apply to you, especially as a novice or a new person that's new to turkey hunting. Even some of the more experienced turkey hunters, they may intuitively understand this, but I haven't heard it articulated too many times. So that's what we're really going to get into here, is the 3 big ones. Rule number 1, you can't call a turkey out of a field. If you're out there hunting and there's a turkey standing clean out in the middle of the field and he's really far away from you, he's out of shotgun range, you are not getting that bird to come out of that field and into those woods. Rule number 2, you are not going to call a turkey downhill. He's not coming downhill to the call. We're going to go over why these generally are true and why you can break these rules. Rule number 3, you're not calling a turkey across a creek. All of these rules are related. It's called generalized bird behavior. What happens first thing in the morning? Why do people go turkey hunting first thing in the morning? Because the turkey's going to gobble. Rooster's going to crow and owl's going to hoot. All birds are going to call in the morning as the sun rises. It is natural. It's a natural state of being. This is strategic turkey, like the way you think about turkey hunting comes into play here. Generalized bird behavior. When you think about a creek bank, it's sloped. The land is generally going to be higher on both sides of that creek. Terrain is a critical factor to a bird that is calling and trying to mate. So why is it? Why do those 3 rules apply? How come the turkey's not coming out of that field? How come he is not going downhill to your call? How come he is not coming across the creek most of the time? They will break these rules, but even they know they're not supposed to. You say, oh, why is my bird getting hung up? Or how come I can't get them to come to me? Even though you can hear them gobbling over and over and over again. Why are they stopping? Why are they not moving? How come I can't get them to come? Well, first of all, it's not natural. So it is not natural for the gobbler to go to the hen. The hen comes to the gobbler. His job as a gobbler to be a good turkey is to gobble and to strut. So being a good gobbler, he is going to do just that. That's what a bird wants to do. He wants to be seen. He wants to be heard. He wants to gobble and he wants to strut. So he is looking for good places to do that. If you are higher than him, and if you are in the open spot, if you are in the good spot, that's when he's going to move to you. So when he feels like, oh, they can't hear me, they can't see me, that's when he's going to move. So when you think about it, that's his position. He is going to get himself into a position where he can be seen and he can be heard. In the eastern part of the country, being heard is going to be more important because it's very hard to see him. The terrain is very constricted. Gobbling is going to be the primary. Calling and gobbling is the bread and butter of the eastern and southeastern part of the country. That's why all the big time callers are kind of in that region east of the Mississippi. The country and the terrain dictate that the gobbling is the critical essence of what that turkey is trying to do. This especially is true about why he is not going to come across the creek in most cases. Think about what happens when you're near water, okay? When you're by water, your voice is going to carry. So when he's by a creek, not only is he typically going to be on one side of that bank, he's going to be a little high up. He'll be higher than the general elevation in the area. His voice is also, he knows that voice is carrying over water. Well, if you can hear an echo, he can hear an echo. So when he gobbles and he catches that echo at the end, he knows he's in a good spot. He's not moving. Why is he not going to come downhill? Well, think about it. If he's up there, he knows his voice is going to carry. If he's higher than you, he's not going to come to you. It's a very simple proposition. I'm higher, I have the high ground, my voice can carry, and I'll be easily seen. He has all those reflective feathers to spin and turn and flash light. And a turkey is keen to pick that kind of movement and reflection up. So he's not coming downhill. he knows that he's going to have a harder time. He's not going to run downhill and get to where no one can see or hear him to try to get laid, right? That's not going to happen. He's not doing that. So that's why he's not coming downhill. So let's say your idea is to set up on the edge of a field. Well, you're not calling him out of that field. If you're out west somewhere where there's, or just in general, big giant cow pastures, giant fields, you're going to want to get a decoy. Why? Sight. His greatest power in that field is sight, is that he can be seen. So he probably is not going to come unless he can see that there's a hen. So you want a hen decoy, and you probably want a jake. Quarter strut and jake's a great little tactic. But if you're not hunting with decoys and you see a turkey in a field, you're not getting him out of that field. It's going to be really hard to call him into shotgun range depending on the size of the field. Now this is obviously a smaller field, but you go out there, you just stake your decoy. Boom. There you go. Now I can hide in the woods 25, 35 yards away and wait for him to come to the decoy. It's very simple. It's an easy trick. This is what you see everybody on TV doing when they're hunting these big fields for the, Rios and Miriams out west or whatever. So decoys work in wide open terrain where it'll probably be hard to hear him gobble. Heck, when I was in Florida last year hunting Osceolas, we were hunting big wide open country and I could see the turkey gobbling, but you can't hear him. There's nothing for the sound to reverberate on. Well, that's an indication right there. Calling's not going to do a whole lot of good. You're going to need a decoy. It's all sight driven in those types of country. Hope this helps you get a better sense of generalized bird behavior. Like I said, the bird wants to strut. He wants to gobble. It's not natural for the hen to come to him to begin with. His voice is going to carry over water. Anytime that bird can hear himself echo when he gobbles, he's not moving. He knows he's in a good location. This also has to do with how much you're going to call to him. If you call too much, he knows you can hear him. Why should he move? Especially in the terrain where there's a lot of saddles and ridges, right? If you're on one ridge and he's on the other, you're going to have a very hard time getting him to come down the ridge to come back up there. He may eventually do it, but you've got to frustrate him. When you're thinking about how to strategically set up on birds, this is a good way to think about it. Generalized bird behavior. He wants to strut, he wants to gobble, he wants to get high up, he wants his voice to carry as far as possible, he wants to be seen. Are you in a zone where you have the upper hand, you have the advantage in that? If not, you're probably not positioned right. This is why knowledge of the terrain is so critically important whenever you're hunting birds. This is why they don't come to overcalling, because when they think that they know that you hear them. They're gobbling, you're calling, they're gobbling, you're calling, they're gobbling, you're calling. Why does he need to move? He knows that the hen knows exactly where he's at. If you're a really good caller, you might be able to get him fired up enough to come to you. But if you were already in a position that had advantage over where he was at, he might come to you anyway. Sometimes it's going to take you a couple of years to kill a bird because they're in good positions and they're hard to get to. And that's just part of hunting. That's part of turkey hunting. This is why everybody likes it. They get into the small tactics. They develop all these specialized techniques for where they're hunting or how they're hunting, how they want to hunt. Anyway, hope this helps. Those are the 3 general rules to turkey hunting. Like I said, there are ways to break those rules. Experienced hunters with lots of different techniques and skills could probably help you out. But I feel like if you don't have a general sense of how the bird is going to behave or what he wants to do, it's going to be very difficult for you to get your first bird or start putting yourselves in a position where that first bird even becomes a possibility. If this is your first time on the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we're going to be doing a lot more turkey hunting and turkey videos.